the day coming to us right now. And as we can see, not a whole lot of surprises here. Futbolist, they'll do their corner things. Sagi is going to be their go-to. I anticipate that Avangar will sit out all the way towards power, or Milta power that is, but we'll have to wait and see. I do not think StarLadder will be an option for them with this playing path.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a far stretch for them to go this time around, but Futbolist, they're going to be happy because both planes now have worked out for them to get one of their spots quite easily in that sense. But it is going to make sure that Georgia Pol is very heavy under contention. Powerful back in there, Seekorg and Besiktas.
Yeah, we got Northern Lights. On their no military access games, they will go up towards Rostock. We've seen them have a good game there, but mainly it has been their rotations out of military that has given them their good placements. Now we'll see, though. There was a tendency in Phase 1 that whenever Northern Lights left military, the circle went down there. And whenever they were down there, they wouldn't get the games. But now they do always have a win. They have that one military game we've had. They had a win on that. But it could be fun to see that it would go back down there once more.
Let's see if you've cursed it again here, Toby. Could you have ruined it for Northern Lights? Is it going to go that way? Oh,
there's a very small chance. A very small chance that it could go military, but I highly doubt it. What I'd like to see, though, is that with this plane path, Gamerlegion went to where they did. In the beginning, I don't know if it was because they were afraid or they wanted to make sure that they had the info on what Force were doing before they started taking in chances. But they were pretty... what do you say? They were kind of giving up on Fairy Pier pretty easily on planes where they probably could have stretched it and gotten there. They just didn't take the chance. But now they're like, you know what? Nope, Fairy Pier is ours. We've tried other things. Didn't work for us. Let's just go back there. We know it works. Stick to it. And for We Need a Home as well, looting up here, they actually only have 2 guys in Yasnaya right now. And that could be part of the reason why they did that aggression yesterday. Because now they know LXG, okay, they don't... I mean, sure, it was LXG that came out on top, but We Need a Home. They were the ones to push. They were the ones to try and take control. And that forced LXG to say, okay, there's always that chance. They can always come running. And now that just gives them so much more space in the east.
And that's what they want, right? It's having that ability to be able to force a team out of position like that, because it's not an easy thing to do. We need a home, certainly, as well. Are a team that can challenge you, but I think they were a little bit shaken by what happened that other day, where it was just, we got into that fight, it didn't work out for us. And then they did literally the next game, or maybe the second game after that, they were able to turn it around and say, well, we won't fight you in Yasnaya, but if you meet us outside, we're just going to come and wreck you.
Yeah, they were following each other all the way to the circle, and pretty much none of them go out of there alive. But the thing for them is, I mean, when you land with another team in a city, again, Yasnaya, plenty of room for 2 teams to loot. But if you want to aggress on them, there are 2 ways to go about it. A, you just take the RNG fight in the sense that you land where they land, and you just hope that you get a gun before they do, because that's where it all comes down to who gets lucky and who doesn't, right? Or you do the more strategic as like a sort of route to it, where you land where you normally do, but that's when you start aggressing. You just get the essentials, get that vest, get that helmet, get an SMG, anything you can pick up on the ground real quickly, and get going over towards your opponents, and you can start taking the fight there. But they wanted to go full aggro, landed on them, didn't work their way.
And sometimes it just doesn't work out to be your way. That can be the way it goes. And that's how it was for Powerful in our previous game. They started off looking strong, but the third parties came into full effect, and they started to think, we may have erred just a little bit here.
And that's kind of bittersweet, right? I mean, as much as you hate getting third-partied, as good does it feel to do it?
Yeah.
But then to have like, oh yeah, we got sucked in. Oh wait, now we're getting. Oh come on, man.
It's like, oh, this could be our game, and then it's all whittled away.
Yeah, you get third party yourself when you try to do it to others. I mean, in all honesty, with that area of the map we were on in the last game, because there was so little available, because teams were forced to play close to each other so much, it was the southern forest, it was the northern forest. That's where everybody was, except for Riddle in the field, of course. It's just you cannot take those fights and not expect there to be people coming from behind. And even if you're like, we're the 3rd team to join this fight, that 4th team will always come running.
Now, Avangar this time around will look to step things up and make sure they can bounce back. We know there's one thing you got to say about this team is once they've had one game where they've not been happy with it, it's a slightly worse game, they do seem to just switch into another level. It's like they activate something in their minds and they say, all right, we're not messing about this time around.
No, they've been pretty good at turning things over. Maybe they do that on purpose. We can take one somewhat bad game if we know we're going to get a 16-kill win the next game. That's pretty good statistics overall, nonetheless. But no, of course, that's probably not the play style they're going for. But it's true. They have been getting really good results following bad games.
That was nice to see more out of Gamerlegion on the previous game.
Yeah.
It was great to see a bit more coming out from No Tag Team as well, just on a bit more of the consistency in with it. And Riddle obviously getting away with that win, but how's it going to work from this time? Not a directly same circle, but a similar style of circle of what we've had game to game now. And how will this pan out on the rotations? What different choices will teams make? Seekorg have already made their ways a lot further down towards the south. They're just outside Pachinki at the moment.
Okay, 23. Sitting tight inside the compound, not really in a hurry to do anything aggressive here. Just biding their time, getting themselves looted up. But this is one of the thing where, I mean, sure, they have all the, you can kind of tell that they're all the loot in the middle, dropping off what they don't need.
Yeah.
But they need that one guy to look out the window. They need the guys to look around because they're in the center of the circle, and that's where people like to go in that first circle. Yeah,
the worst thing that could happen now for K23 is that they just get caught sleeping a little bit. Teams roll up on them, and they get picked apart. But we've got Powerful at the moment, just driving around, getting themselves rotated around, pushing themselves in. Remember, they were looting up on North Georgia Pole. They're going to come in and potentially meet No Tag Team at this rate as well. Futbolist, we speak about them. Starting to have better games coming out from overall, but it didn't work out even though they were able to frag out on the previous.
Yeah, I see them trying to make their rotation on in now. They're sitting pretty well in it on the western side, up towards Gatkan, the field up there. And then you got Simsi and Besiktas, the team that wants to fight, the team that loves Miramar and never gets to play it. And, well, I mean, that's just how it is. Sinsen now under pressure. They've tried breaching this compound once before, and it failed. And this time around, only Sinsen goes down. And I have to say that that wasn't here, but wasn't this compound they failed at breaching. But anyway, they lose a player.
I think the one thing most teams can learn is don't breach a compound if you find out the fours are there or anywhere nearby. They start knocking you because they're a team that's well prepared for these kind of movements to come in. They're one that certainly, they sit in their compounds. If they hear you come in, they might wait it out for a second. But if they think you're driving by, instantly they all pop out and they go in for the shots. They're never just waiting and saying, we're not here, guys, don't worry. They're ready to take the challenges that are brought to them. Otherwise, they'll be bringing it to you.
Also, if you're Riddle now, we didn't see how exactly they went about their rotation up to the point at which Sinsen died, but they know that Force loots that area. They know that the furthest western compound they have access to is the one they just drove by. Maybe jump out of that vehicle, stand around, look if you see any movement. Because sure, if they hear the vehicle, they'll be hiding in the corner and wait for you to come close. But if you jump out maybe 200-300 meters away and you look at the windows, look for open doors, you might see a guy running around, and that could have been Sinsen staying alive there.
Now, LXG at the moment, just looking at where they are on the map stream at the moment, we've got them up in the north. They're going to work their way around. They've taken a longer rotation, and I fully respect that. Buys them a little bit more time and makes them a little bit less predictable in how they'll start to enter in.
On the day one, they were constantly rotating with We Need a Home into the circle, and it forced those two teams to fight all the time. They would come into the circle with vehicles that were low on durability. They would all get vests torn. They would lose players. And now they've said, you know what? We know that We Need a Home always go into these circles from the east. We'll just go all the way around over the top and take it from the north.
Hopefully it can work out for them once again as the Wildcats are going to go for a bit of star points in there somewhat.
Hate this field.
They got in with some kills on the previous game, but they still went out very early in 16th place. They tried to push into fours. I think they managed to get one kill in total off of it, but it was the knocks, and it was looking like there was a slight chance for it, but fours proved too strong. And again, it's fours. Oh my, we are still getting military base in there. We're still covering water within this circle as the shift is going to happen, and all the teams that are up in the north are working their way back down, and there's not a lot of space coming into play here.
And that's the thing, because the entire northern entry point to the circle is Pachinki and the fields around it. And we just saw from Wildcats how hard it is to drive through that field.
Oh, yes.
And for teams, I might want to think that a team would want to go over towards the military side of things here, just because, I mean, you wouldn't want to stick around there for too long, but just on this rotation, because it's going to be so hard to find a place to call your own in this circle. There's not a lot to play around. We had it in the last game, and this is even more so good, because if nobody goes military and you have the water, that's a half-size circle in circle 2.
Clib's gone down early on, though. This was a straight into kill.
We talked about it.
Finding him.
Yep, they're all over the place. Cynic's taking out a teammate there as well. That's unfortunate when you have Northern Lights shooting up towards you.
This is rough for a lot of these teams already, and we've only just started to get the shift because of this interesting circle position.
It's a really, really tough break for a lot of these guys. Even though a lot of them are still alive, it's still teams being in position where, like, what the hell do we do in the next circle if it goes anywhere but where we are right now?
Avangar still gatekeeping up on towards the eastern side. We've got Insidegames looking around to fire back onto Northern Lights, but if you fight here with Pochinki for too long, then as you even want to try and move yourself a little bit further south, if you get another shift that's away from you, it's going to make it this just a little bit more difficult here.
You can see Insidegames are not seemingly wanting to run away. Now 2 players start moving. Allows for OK Bro to go up and take the aggressive peek. They do have players around the corner further down, but you can see he doesn't have the help up there needed, and I like that he doesn't over-aggress. We see so many other players say, I don't have the help. Oh, I can get this peek, and boom, they get punished immediately. But, nice place from him. Now he gets over, and he gets himself the knock and the finish off.
The nade comes in. OK Bro says it's time for me to strike, and he has the backup, maybe not in the number close by to him, but in terms of the grenades coming out, and they smell the blood, they know what's going on. Senex is going to be taken down next, and Ostrolovac once again all alone, completely pinned down, and Insidegames could be close to being eliminated here.
Yeah, OK Bro knows exactly where he is. He saw him run into the little closet just before, and he's going to be sitting by himself for a while. But for Northern Lights team, this is where you cannot lose a player, and they won't. Also, Lovac goes down. That's going to be Insidegames out in 16th. So we said we wanted them to get off to a good start, but that's been 2 rough games back to back.
Such a strong push as well. I feel like if OK Bro went maybe a little bit too early on that, he could have been picked off. Quizzy's nade came in and he just reacted perfectly.
It was a really smart play. I mean, they coordinated it super well. It showed good communication, great awareness to where the opponents were, and great execution. Really good job by them. LXG now, we talked about them coming in late, and they have no tag team to deal with. They're trying to make the rotation even further around now, but they already have Power and Besiktas in the Forest South. So unless they want to go all the way on the other side of the road down to Ferry Pier, they're going to be contested no matter where they drive.
Now, at least for Avangar, like we were saying there, right, they're working their way up here. They've heard what shots have been going on, but it's all down to where this next circle goes on how crazy this could get.
I don't even know if it can go military, but that would be the funniest thing in the universe. Also the worst, but the funniest.
You're definitely jinxing it again today, mate. You're definitely going to make it happen.
Nah, it's not going to happen. That's all right. It's all right. I don't mind this. The only thing that I do mind is the fact that we have still got 57 players alive. And as we say, I mean, you can see on the map, you can say, oh, but there are places available. But sure, how the hell do you get to the compound where Gamerlegion are now if you're Avangar? If you're anyone on the edges here, how do you get in there without getting torn to pieces before you make it anywhere close, right? So sure, you have center spots open and available. You just can't get there. I mean, by the time this circle closes in, we're going to be down to 35 players.
This is what I'm really interested to see where Zen's 2v2 split is going to work out as well. Because they're in the fields, they've got a good spots to fire, and all these teams trying to rotate in. But the question is, how close will the team get to pressurizing him? Could it kind of backfire if too many cluster towards him? If you get 2-3 teams want to actually fight them at this point, because look at how many are close to him, then they're going to be in a real bad spot of saying, well, actually, we needed to be together, because instantly this could be getting them down on 2 players being lost early.
Besiktas powerful and no tag team caught in a love triangle, you want to call it, but more like a triangle of war about to start. Besiktas are the ones with the getaway position. They can play it safe, they can play it smart, but Simpson knows that LXG made their way across, and he's caught down on the southern side, so he needs to be so aware of taking shots too aggressively, because he's going to be potentially 1v4 down there.
Zen's doing exactly what they need to, though, with the 2-2 split. Keeping teams at bay, getting some knocks on the board. Vazku starting off. And now we said it, right? We've always been talking about T-Bone. We said about Page and Ivor. But Vazku, compared to Phase 1 so far, and okay, it's only just 4 days, it's been a bit quiet from him.
The thing about Zoekt Een Naam's position right now is that sure, it worked with the spots they're in, but if you don't start rotating now, or maybe a circle ago, there's no way in hell you're going to get over to your teammates without being taken down before you get there. So they might have been caught off sitting in this 2-2 split for a bit too long, unless if it's some crazy genius master plan that I just can't seem to figure out. Arrows trying to crawl on forward. Tube6 in the vehicle already, as we see, leaving the zigzag compound out west. O'Connell was taken down just before, and the thing for them is, where does Powerful play this from? No tag team had a chance to play it and pin in Powerful, but with Powerful moving with the circle, they're now the team to be pinned in between Besiktas and Power. So no tag team, as we can see here, under pressure already. Ghost Dog gets damage done. Oh, that nade is going to be straight on the feet of Gibbet, but he's going to only go down to half HP. And the return, though, Ghost Dog goes all the way down to the knees.
More nades, more players on their knees, more players really struggling to deal with how you keep this going. With give it. He certainly is going to try and give it, but it's not going to work out. Teams surround him completely. Avangar also not on the right spot here, and as you said, it's so hard for them to rotate in from this position. There's not a lot of space, and there's not a lot of compounds for him.
You gotta think circles ahead, but with spots like these, you're like, we're just gonna take what we can get. We will force those fights, but because we're so late in the game already, it's just so tricky. We're not even late in the game, but we're late in the aspect that people don't have anywhere to go, and it's gonna seem way later than it is because these circles might be big, but there are very limited spots that you can play from.
Now, Simsy, we always talk about him for Besiktas, but Ultra now with the DMR in his hands is going to be loving life and saying, all right, I can wait for you guys to come forward.
Not in a hurry whatsoever.
I'll wait for you to pop out the blue. Aros is trying to sneak in very slowly.
We also on the south side, we got players making the run on up. It's LXG. They lost one player already, but as we saw before, it was Simsy that was chilling by himself on the south side. Now Lux is going to be the one down there all by himself, and you can see it on the screen right there in the corner. They're up there and they're running around. Avangar in the meantime, they're trying to make a highway of smokes. I hope they have 14 of them like Bjorn did last game, because if not, they're going to be out of them real soon. Lux taken down immediately. Oh, and that's going to be Tomil down as well.
LXG. Quick on the trigger, getting the job done. If they can flush these last two players out as well, pick up the additional kills, and then they've only got Ultra to find and deal with.
Spasms out as his buddy goes to the 0 heartbeat. And in the meantime, as Tomil's trying to get back up on his feet, this might be Eris getting himself a little bit of a revenge kill off of this one, should he be able to line it up perfectly. But as you can see, LXG, they ain't got no time to waste. They're going to want to get these kills and make a move because they're not in the circle yet. And somehow, Tomil is still alive.
By the skin of his teeth. More nades coming out towards him though. Tomil back on his knees. It's not going to work out. And Aros is actually going to pick him off. LXG had their kill stolen, and now it's only Ultra that remains. He's taken all the damage. He's healed himself back up, but he's had to get straight back into the fight, prone and ready. But is he going to be able to do anything here?
Paige says, I want to get in on this one too, from the safety of my compound. And Mikhailovic is just like, wait. Oh, okay, it was Besiktas player that died. Never mind, let's just get going. It's when the communication doesn't come across immediately. But in the end, they will be able to get rotated on out from there. They don't have a whole lot of places to go to, though. K23 already forced into shacks, and we're only in circle 4. This is oh so tricky for a lot of these guys.
And it's Forze again, finding some of the Wildcat players here. Fosford able to deal some extra damage onto him. Needs some backup from his team that are close by. Katurkan's working his way up. They're going to try and pick ANLL up.
Hunter shooting up in the direction of Phosphorus, both to get the damage done, of course, but also just to keep them away so that Katurkan can get on over and away from that vehicle. Because if nades are thrown in there, that vehicle becomes a big red barrel of boom, and you do not want to stay close to that one for long.
That's a scary position for the Wildcats to fight from. Forze have a massive advantage on top of that hill. But Gamerlegion, from afar, they're in the circle, trying to get it done. They're going to make this a little bit easier for the Wildcats to push up on. And Forze suddenly under huge pressure from both sides. This is going to be hard to deal with. Zolta's the only one left, and he's in a vehicle just running away. He doesn't want to fight into this. And Avangar have gone down. Asverin's been found. They're out in 13th place. And Forze, Zolta's, he's just gone straight out of here and said, all right, this is not worth my time. I need to solo prone this up.
Northern Lights and We Need a Home. They're off to a crazy brawl on the hillside up here. 3 players down already. Deep is all by himself, and Lipson takes him down. Fortunately for them, 7 kills already for We Need a Home. They just got 4 of them there, and they're just showing us time and time again that they deserve to be considered a team on the very top, if not in Europe, and then at least in their region. They've been doing so well so far, and believe me, they can play with the big ones out here.
Can we change their name to Give Them a Home? Certainly deserve one if they can keep playing like this as Barlos. He knows what's going on. He's got the nade ready. The solo man believes he can try and get the job done.
What? Again, so you needed yourself. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter in the end.
His teammates are there to back him up now, though, and they're ready to take the challenge. They're ready to take charge. Easy to flush out one, but Futbolist. They go back a little bit. They group up. This shack's been taken over by Seekorg, but how much more can be done? Gluttony missing some of the key shots. Barlos finds him with a nade in his hand. He does throw the nade out, but he won't be able to get it covered onto them. More nades go back out towards him. Gluttony needs to get running and somehow avoids a lot of the damage.
This is just a war of nades. Nobody dares peeking for long, and that's going to be nades torn back and forth, Fortunately, nothing is happening. LXG does go down. K23, they hold them off their shack. And now let's see more nades coming in here. Pressure's being applied from behind as well. Feeler with a high ground position. What can he do from here, though? He's outside the circle, and it's closing in already.
And this is it, right? Barlos was up front to start off with. The rest of Seekorg now pushing in. Fillo's position covering to make sure Futbolist can't escape. This is going on for quite a lot of time here. These nades continue to being used, and it's so devastating in terms of what damage can be done, as Lipson's still lighting up the scoreboard. He's found Fillo, which means the cover fire for Seekorg's not going to be here anymore.
Gamerlegion under pressure as well. We got the guys in Wildcats trying to make their run on down. You can see Mekan down here trying to hold them off, and they do manage to get the finish off. 2 games in a row in the area that Gamerlegion likes to loot. They get themselves into placement points. Really good performance by them, and they got some kills with it so far too. Everyone's playing in shacks with the exception of the guys up here. They got a house to work with, but that house is going to be out in the blue in just about 40 seconds time.
You are not wrong about these style of endings, Toby. 2 games with pretty open endings has meant that we've got crazy amount of players left alive when it comes down to these final parts. And so early on in it as well. Not a no. Oh, thank God.
Oh, it's a smoke. Oh my God.
I thought it was a nade as well. Gluttony snuck out though. If he looks behind him at any point, this could be huge.
He has to. The circle is forcing them to leave. The only thing is that Balos ain't expecting it. All he does get the help from behind though. Furax, wingman can't be there. Saves his teammate, but now you got one inside blocking. Jay tries to crawl on out, spots up one, but he's gonna get taken down in the end. Futbolist out in 8th place, but the pressure's only just started for Seekorg, and they go out as well. We need a home. Keep racking up points.
This is going to be an insane amount of kills up for We Need a Home, as Riddle, our previous winners, they go down in 6th. And already we're down to our last 4 teams. As powerful are the next ones to go.
And look at this team with 4 guys alive. Who's
wow.
been chilling on the west for a good long amount of time. Actually, they've been chilling in the center. People just haven't been coming to them. They've all been trying to make their way around this field instead of going through it. So Zoekt Een Naam being in the center of the field, they've been applying pressure, and they've been T-bone syndroming all over the place, because I don't think they have a whole lot of kills so far, but I've seen them getting knocks quite often.
Derek, he's just trying to make sure those shots don't come out towards him anytime soon. K23 have got themselves hidden up as well. But it is 4 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2. And this is where Zen can really start to show their powers.
Yeah, the only thing is that they don't have a whole lot of room to do that from. The benefit for them, though, is that both Gamerlegion and K23 are forced into their shacks. They cannot really do a whole lot from there. And I don't know how many smokes or nades they have remaining. So that's going to be a pretty easy one to calculate where they're playing it from. But as we saw with the Noctip yesterday, even though there aren't opponents in these fields, no matter who you are, you just got to anticipate it. You got to play it like there's snakes everywhere. If not, then believe me, they will be there and they will take you out.
Now this is it for Zen as well. So much utility and easy not to come in on Lipsin. Derek's the only one left alive, and Zen now fully committed to just flushing these guys out.
They've never really been within distance to nade anyone, so they have them available, but no matter what's going to happen for We Need a Home here, they got 2 wins in the tournament already, and 10 kills in the top 4 placement here is only going to throw them up even higher. Avangar went out early, and that could be a 2nd place coming in for We Need a Home. Derek 1v4. You have a nade. What? Oh, what can you do from here?
Zen have plenty of nades as well, but the bush is going to at least give Derek a little bit more cover here, as Zen focus their attentions elsewhere as Gamerlegion come into this. But this now means Derek is completely pinned between 2 different teams. And K23, they're just having a bit of a shooting match, just saying, we're here, but keep away from us.
I like that they don't overcommit to it too. They know that there's still one alive, but they also, as you can see here, know that there's so much more pressure to be applied from other sides. Ivo lives with the pan hit there in the end. But down to his knees he goes as he starts getting healed on up. Derek now realizes that there are people on the other side as well. And all of a sudden, this bush that he has to play on doesn't seem that big anymore.
This bush isn't safe anymore.
Playing it as safe as he possibly can. And I like that we're seeing this. I mean, look how aggressive these guys are. I mean, the thing for Makan and for Hamster is they have a whole lot of ground to cover. And they can't really get angles on anyone from where they are. And also, I mean, now fortunately they do get the circle. But they need to really proactively keep people away. Because if they're getting run up on, it's going to be so hard for them to apply the pressure needed. Because teams will be able to see them from everywhere.
Good choices here now from Zen, but are they going to be aware of how close Derek may be as he tries to sneak in?
One nade. If they like do a vehicle fort or something and all hide behind it, doink, that could be the funniest thing. But I highly doubt that they'll be allowing for anyone to do that. Nope, they're splitting it off 2-2. I like the call coming in. Zoekt Een Naam, they're one of the teams that are really good at executing these 2-2 splits. They have a tendency of sitting out 2-2, and then when they come to the end game, when they have all the info they need, boom, that's when they group up and they really utilize the fact that they have the higher numbers in players. So was that a nade? No, that's a smoke as well.
I'm impressed by K23 at least that they are going to split this out and try and gain some ground. Because remember, they just can't see too much from here. Just where the hut's positioned, it's so hard to have awareness of what's going on the whole time. But it feels like Zen has spent pretty much the whole game in these 2-2 splits now. And it's worked out so far, but it's just this kind of lull moment where it's just all slowing down a bit and no one really wants to move.
The fact of the matter is that the quiet that we get here normally don't happen before that final circle starts closing in. But just like last game, we were down to 19 players at 21 minutes. Just means that the amount of space that they normally have kind of going statically with the circle shrinking, it's just that much higher now. So we will probably I say, be getting a little bit of downtime here, where all these players will try and pinpoint where the opponents are sitting.
Page up high, trying to spot it out. Actually not far off, trying to make some of those shots connect. My God.
I think he is on the other side of the ridge line, Makan, though, so I don't think he would be able to hit him even if the X-ray was technically on target.
Page is like, I got plenty of bullets and I see all these bushes.
Yeah, and I think the issue here as well is the fact that all the three teams know that Zoekt Een Naam is a four-man, or at least expecting them to have quite a few players alive with the amount of vehicles they hear, with the amount of bullets they have fired from different guns at the same time, and none of them really want to be the team to go out now.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one going down next in fourth place, especially if you can believe you can just prone it further. But the circle goes up for Zen. Just White pokes his head out, and Vazku says, "Hi, I can do it."
Did he knock? Oh no, he was standing on the vehicle. That's why I was like, did he knock him mid-air as he jumped to get info? That would have been insane. But I think he was standing on the vehicle to get the angle on him.
Now the revive comes in, but it means that K23 they're not going to want to poke out again anytime soon. It's a scary thought for them.
So with Zoekt Een Naam not getting the finish off there, that's going to be in for there's at least two players in the shack. Now they know that Politero got at least one more. We need a home player was alive. They didn't see him up there. So that's going to be the info they need, but they do not know of Gamerlegion's position so far, I believe.
Politero slowly edging his way forward.
You can only play this one careful. These placement points, we talked about it, and we talk about them, keep talking about it. They're just so crucial in you staying at the top. Rather miss out on 2 kills here and get some placement points off of it. Although technically if you get the kills and the placement points, that's double the points. So.
And we need home have 10 kills in total. Remember, they were fragging out early on, which means the placement points alongside it, they make it the top 3, top 2 is going to be a huge benefit for them.
Right now, T-Bone is holding off the shack. Makes perfect sense as we can see on the map. You guys can't, but we can. It's being excluded from the circle as we speak, so they know they have to make a run on out, and they're trying to do everything they can to keep Zoekt Een Naam from being able to get these kills. K23, you got to land some absurd headshots if you want to get this one down. I have all Nate right on the money. Just one player to go now. Is he going to go down to the blue, or is he going to get Zoekt Een Naam their 7th kill?
Deadheart's just going to have to run out. Just White takes a ton of damage. He'll just take it. Yeah. He'll go down. K23 in 4th place. It's not a bad end to it all. There's so little you can do there.
I can respect it. Deny the points. I mean, at this point, normally you say, oh, but he had a chance. He could have gotten, but nope. There were 4 scopes, and they were all standing and looking right down towards that building. No way in hell he was going to get anything from that. Smoke thrown forward. Maybe a bit of a bait smoke for Makan to crawl into. We know it's the center on the dot circle now. So where are these sneaky snakes going to play it from? And can they somehow take down the 4-man strong Zoekt Een Naam?
Damage being done. Polidoric's being fouled. We need a home get 3rd.
Gamerlegion, second place potentially in a row. Makan had the angle on T-Bone, but he ain't gonna get him down. T-Bone, we know he can land them, and he continues to do so.
You don't miss shots like that against a man like T-Bone. Hamster's able to get 1 knock in, but they're spraying him down, they're spraying him through. He's gonna be finished off, and another win for Zen with 9 kills alongside it. That's 4 in total now.
Very